Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Good evening. It's Monday. I know it's Monday, but hey, we got a race for you this evening, so that's great. So we're here with GT Champions Season 3, Round 9 at Nurburgring GP here in Germany this evening. I'm your host, Tim Gray, or as you guys know me on screen as Ghost Terror 45 or Ghost 45. And this is presented by RWB Racing, and it's also sponsored by Detailing Group, main sponsors. If you need some kind of steel engineering done, some drawings, some engineered computer drawings, these are the guys to talk to. Check them out. Absolutely great stuff they're doing over there. Some huge innovations happening at Detailing Group. And also, of course, proud partners as well with Metropolis, High Pre Graphics, and Pride of the Dragon. So, welcome. And this is our rebroadcast of Round 9 that was ran a couple of days ago, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope everybody really enjoys the race, as it's going to be a good one. So, with that being said, let's jump on down to this beautiful little screen right here. Ooh. That High Pre Graphics is provided for us. So, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You are seeing GT Champions chase for the cup. We're in the final rounds here, ladies and gentlemen. We're round 9 of round 10 today. The standings are close. There's some good battles happening throughout, all the way through the standings here in GTC 4 this season. And everything's still up for grabs coming into round 9. So it's going to be a really interesting race. We're going to have to see how everything works out. So this is a Group 4 race this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're in that BMW M4. Absolutely beautiful machine. And again, we're in Germany at the Nurburgring GP. So, fun little track. And, of course, the tires required for the series, ladies and gentlemen, are racing soft tires and racing medium tires. The drivers are required to use one of each compound during the race. And the settings for the tire wear and the fuel consumption is ×2 for each. So, with that being said, you ask, well, are the drivers allowed to pit whenever they want? Can they use as many tires as they want? Well, no. The drivers are only allowed to use one set of racing softs, and they're only allowed to use one set of racing mediums. So the drivers have to decide which of the two compounded tires that they want to start the race on, and then there's a pit window, and that pit window starts from the 50-minute remaining to 40-minute remaining mark of the race. So just a little before halfway and a little bit after halfway through the race is when the pit window opens for the drivers. They have 10 minutes to decide when to pit, to change their tires to the other compound that they haven't used yet, and to take on their fuel for the remainder of the race. However, there is a little bit of leeway with the pits, of course. If a driver incurs damage during the race, the drivers are allowed to pit, and they are allowed to only repair that damage. If the drivers are caught taking on tires or fuel, then they will be assessed a penalty by the amazing officiating staff here at GT Champions. So a little bit of what's going on here today over in Germany. And we're going to go through the starting grid with you guys here in just a second. As again, GT Champions has greased the wheels in Germany like they've been doing all season long here for GTC4. And we've gotten our cameraman back on track. And we're going to do that beautiful walkthrough up and down the grid, take a good little look at the cars, go through the starting order, and then we're going to kick this race off, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to drop our Chase for the Cup banner here, and this is exciting. Everybody loves a good championship chase, and let me just remove that. There we go. So you can see our cameraman is there. Hello, he says to everybody. It is absolutely a full place here today in Germany. As you can see, all the fans getting ready to go, both sides. Pit crews there, all anxious. So, starting on pole today, ladies and gentlemen, is PSRT BA Dubs. And beautiful Cancer livery there from Dubs. Moving on the grid in second place was supposed to be Noam here today, but he was not feeling well today, opted out of the race. So Energia actually moves up into P2 here from Ice Racing Group here. And then moving up into P3 now will be Picteca. And of course, one of the Mista legends behind all the amazing graphics you guys are seeing here on these broadcasts here at GT Champions through all 4 divisions this season. So moving up the grid, of course, we do have Calypso, because Marchie Boy did not make the race either. So Calypso getting up a couple positions on the grid here. So moving up into P4. So moving down the grid into P5, we have newly signed Apex Racing Formula One, ladies and gentlemen, who's had a very strong season so far. Currently sitting 5th coming in to the race here today. We'll just go for a little quick walk around the car here. And this is driver number 22. Moving up the field, we do have Stangman. Stangman did finish in P3 last week over in Dragon Trail Gardens, so he's going to be looking to hopefully capitalize on some momentum gain there and move on to that podium again today. And then right behind him is Ghost 45, who had a rough race last week, but managed to still find his way up into P3 overall in standing. So interesting to see how he's going to respond to that. And then right behind him, to his right, is our current standings leader, ladies and gentlemen. This is the gentleman leading the championship here in GTC for this season, Spider Team 1. So starting in the midfield here today. And then we have Average Viper just behind him, who put down the fastest lap over in Dragon Trail Gardens last week. So that puts him on the back of the grid for the drivers who did make the race last week. So moving behind these drivers now, we do have Toolshed. Toolshed did have the issue with his connection last week, opted out of the race, starting back in behind Average Viper. Walk Motorsports now making it into the race here, so he missed last week as well, so he does start in behind Toolshed. And then we have Jet, who missed a couple of races here this season as well, now back into the series here for round 9. And then we have new driver Bunk Nasty, who's not on the starting grid here. So he's coming in to fill out for the final position here on the grid. So that is our starting order, ladies and gentlemen. And we got to get our cameraman off and out of here. So let's do that. And let's get back to the race action. So cameraman's getting off track. And we are at the start of the race here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody enjoys the broadcast. Again, this is presented by RWB Racing. And our main sponsor here this evening, and for the whole series, ladies and gentlemen, is Detailing Group. And proud partners is Metropolis, Pride of the Dragon, and again, High Pre Graphics. So let's move over to the best screen, the Let's Get Racing screen, ladies and gentlemen. So we do see some green lights up there. So when I hit this button, we are going to be going racing. So let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. And we have some crowd, we have some fans up in the YouTube here. We have Dub saying thanks, Juan. We've got love you, brother. Happy to have you. Woohoo, what's up, buddy? Hey, Tim, yes. Grid walks are awesome. Awesome, awesome crowd. Everybody's enjoying the broadcast. Get ready for a good race. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers have the engines revved up. They should be getting ready to go any moment here. Waiting for those lights to see 1, 2 reds, 3 reds, 4 reds, and... oh, and we're green, ladies and gentlemen. We are green, 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 and the drivers are off, and Dub's getting a great start here. So moving through here, coming into this first hairpin, this is going to be a very tricky corner. All the drivers coming in here. Whoa, we see a driver, looks like Ghost going off in the background, and oh, he just disappears there. So thankfully he didn't come across the track and take out the whole field. There we have Dubs in the lead. Moving down into second is Picteca with Energia right there, but Energia has Formula One trying to put the pressure on him, gets caught up in behind Picteca, gets to move down as Energia goes wide. Stangman takes advantage, Viper takes advantage. Energia losing some spots there. We have a couple drivers having some issues in the backfield here, as we have Bunk Nasty, new driver in the championship here, coming into round 9, having a little bit of an issue wide in the corner there. We have Toolshed here, who's currently sitting in 4th overall standings. We have Jet getting back into the series, and Ghost having the spin going into corner 1 there in the back of the field. So back to our race leader, who's currently Dubs, ladies and gentlemen, and opening up a very early gap on the rest of the field. We now have Stangman in 2nd place again. Our 3rd place finisher last week looking to finish strong here today. Picteca again with a great start, sitting in 3rd place. We do see a driver go wide off in the background there. Formula One chasing Picteca. We got Average Viper, his teammate, just in behind Formula One there. We got Spider Team 1 sitting right next. We got Devin Calypso just behind Spider Team. So Spider Team up into P6. Toolshed's moved up into P8. We have Bunk in P9. Walk Motorsports back in P10 here. We have Ghost has now moved up into P11. Jet in P12. And Energia, as Jet is going to try and go inside of Ghost here. Is Ghost going to be able to hold this off? Ghost is having the inside coming in. Ghost does fight that move off, so Ghost managing to keep 11th place. So let's get back to the front of the field with Dubs. First lap, ladies and gentlemen, coming into the, I believe this corner is called NGK, so it's the chicane coming up into, I believe, what's called the Coca-Cola corner. I'm trying, guys. I am trying. I don't know them all, but we've picked some of them up here. So Dubs coming around. I believe this is the Coca-Cola corner. Coming down the start-finish straightaway here. And Dubs is the leader of the race here, coming around on lap 1. And starting on pole position, looking very strong. Stangman here currently in 2nd place as well. Pikteka just a little bit behind these two drivers here. So we're going to stick with this pack as they're coming into corner 1, as of course this is where all the fun's going to be. And you see teammate Viper going inside here. So I'm not sure what happened there. Pikteka, woo, maybe get a little bit distracted. And Spider Team going for a spin there. We see Toolshed there. So may have had a little bit of an incident on track. Let's get back on with that there. Spider Team and Toolshed coming in at, just looked like a little bit of lag there, as Toolshed wasn't quite where he was probably on Spider Team's radar, and both drivers getting into each other now. I do believe Toolshed is sitting on track waiting for Spider Team. Absolutely he is. Great sportsmanship there. I'm not sure what happened there. We did see some lag on screen there, so hopefully both drivers are okay. So two of the drivers in the top 4 of the standings getting into each other there, making some contact at the back of the pack. So we'll have to see how the race progresses here moving forward. Really unfortunate for those two drivers. So really big opportunity currently right now for our 4th place driver, Average Viper, sitting 2nd in the standings, trying to chase Spider Team. And Average Viper essentially, ladies and gentlemen, needs to win round 9 here in order to continue chasing Spider Team down for a chance at the championship title. Every other driver behind those two drivers is mathematically unable to actually chase Spider Team down unless Spider Team has a disconnect here today. So Spider Team does have a pretty comfortable lead moving into round 9. As we see, Ghost is all over the back of Walk Motorsports here in 8th place. He's going to go inside here, coming into Schumacher S? Schumacher S's, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. No, that's the wrong corner. Nah, that's the wrong corner. That's the wrong corner, chat. So Walk does defend Ghost off there. We have Jet in 9th. We've got Bunk in 10th here, looking good for his first race. Energia just behind him there. We have Spider Team here in 12th, just a little bit off the pack there. Interesting to see if any of the drivers picked up any damage in that incident. So we do have Toolshed here. Again, we did wait for Spider Team to get back on track there. Obviously not meaning to get into Spider Team there, but it did look like the car glitched a little bit there. So Dubs coming around in P1 again after lap 3. We're now on lap 3, so Dubs is looking solid up there in P1. Stangman here in P2 again, looking solid here today. So Stangman's been finding his groove here as the series has been progressing this season and has been looking very strong at the end of the series here. So keep going, brother, keep going. Formula One as well has been really chasing. Formula One has been chasing those podiums all season long. He has one currently right now with P3, but he does have Average Viper trying to close in on him here in P4. Keeping in mind that Average Viper really does need the top of the podium here today. So Devin Calypso in 5th, also doing pretty good in the standings, right up there behind Formula One, if I'm not mistaken. We have Walk now up in 6th, and you see Ghost going on the inside of him there. So Ghost trying to get the move done on Walk. Walk is going to have the inside coming into the next bend here, but Ghost is going to try and get that position anyways, and looking like he's going to get the move done on the outside there. So really good battle between the two of them there, it looks like. And Ghost just able to get that move done on the outside on Walk Motorsports there. So good job by those two drivers. Pikteka has found his having a little mistake there, finding himself back into 8th place here at the moment. With Jet here in 9th. Bunk is now, still in 10th with Energia trying to chase him down. Toolshed has now gotten ahead of Spider Team, as it looks like Spider Team did pit, ladies and gentlemen. I can't confirm, of course. Spider Team only did repair damage. He did not take tires and fuel, as I'm looking at it right now. So we did miss the pit. My apologies. But he is, of course, within the pit regulations there. So unfortunate there for Spider Team, as he had some damage from that incident. So we'll keep our eye on our current championship leader here as the race progresses. And Formula One getting a really nice move done on BA Dubs for first place there. So Formula One getting the job done there. early on in the race and getting out into an early lead. We've seen Formula One out in front a fair bit this season, so let's see if he can get it done today and lock that P1 down for himself and, of course, his team that he's very, very new to here. So representing Apex Racing today, ladies and gentlemen, Dubs here representing PSRT, I believe. He could be in as an independent driver. I'm not 100% sure there. And then we have Average Viper here on Team Hyperi, of course, getting around Stangman there. Stangman's getting a little bit loose there. Woo! Manages to keep it together, but that does allow Devin Calypso and Ghost 45 to get around him there. So Stangman losing a couple of positions just before he comes into the Mercedes corners here. So coming into the Mercedes corners here, we have Ghost just behind. Oh, we have contact between Ghost and Devin Calypso. Oh my! Boy, we have a little bit of the driver struggling a little bit here coming into these technical sectors. So we're going to watch that over again. So Ghost is just in behind Devin there. Gets a little bit of the apex and just catches Devin there. And Ghost feeling bad stopping on the track. Maybe not the best spot for him to stop there, but everybody getting through safely. So we've seen 3 now of the top 4 drivers in the standings getting involved in incidents on track here very early on at Nurburgring GP today. Of course, showing great respect on track amongst their competitors here, but falling very far back into the field. So Average Viper right now looking in a very good position here to gain on all these drivers today. Currently, as the race stands, is very early, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 82 and a half minutes remaining in this race. So got punted in him, still feel bad, tool shed. Oh, I know, brother. I hear it happens, brother. It happens. Great respect, brother. Great respect, though. Formula One looking very strong here in P1 now, as he's starting to pull a little bit of a gap on second place driver Dubs now, who Formula One passed to take over on P1. So good job so far by some drivers that you don't typically see up front here very often this season. So we are seeing some new faces moving up through the field again as the season's progressing. So drivers starting to find their groove. Drivers are starting to get very comfortable on track, getting very comfortable racing around each other. And it's starting to show in the pace of all the drivers here in GTC4, and it's fantastic to see. But we do see Viper starting to put pressure on Dubs here. And Dubs is going to be very, very generous in the amount of space he's going to give Viper there, as he takes a really wide line going around the Coca-Cola corner there. So Viper now moving up into P2 on Dubs, now trying to chase Formula One down for that P1. So great move by Viper there coming around the final corner. But Dubs looks like he's going to try to respond here coming into the hairpin, coming really late on the brakes. Average Viper's going to come back with the old switcheroo, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get the cutback done and get that P2 back on Dubs. He read that Dubs was coming in pretty hot and braked accordingly and got the job done. So great job by Viper there, jumping into P2, now on the chase for P1. Stangman here still looking really strong, just behind this pack of podium drivers right now in 4th place. And we'll do a couple of onboards here throughout the day with the drivers going around Nurburgring GP. It's an interesting racetrack. It has some interesting flow. Again, it's a technical racetrack, as we see Ghost back up into P7 here now, trying to chase Devin Calypso back down after contact in the Mercedes corners there. So Ghost is the next nearest top 3 drivers in the standings right now, compared to second overall standing Average Viper. So we'll have to be keeping our eye on that as it progresses throughout the night tonight, as of course every position does matter. We are on the chase for the title here, ladies and gentlemen. So Jet up into 8th, but Energia is up all over his business. We see Jet going across the racetrack to block Energia's advance there, and just not able to get around Energia. So Energia is going to go look outside. He's going to back off here. Not the best place to go on the outside around this corner here. So he's going to tuck back in behind Jet as this battle ensues. And see if we can get the job done coming around this sector here. So we're going to come up on a straightaway. So we might be able to grab some slipstream here and get a slingshot move done on Jet here as we're cruising up as the racetrack here. I can't remember what this straight's called. Oh, it's bugging me. Every corner does have a name here at Nurburgring GP. I just don't, unfortunately, know them all. Hard on the brakes there is Jet going into NGK there. So you can see Energia gets a really good run on him there. So Energia is going to try and get this done on the outside into the Coca-Cola corner here. And actually losing a little bit of pace on Jet there. So Jet managing to stay ahead of Energia here. We're going to stick with this battle here for just a little bit longer, though, as this is about the closest good battle we have going on track at the moment. So Energia is going to look inside on Jet here. You see Jet getting a little bit earlier on the brakes, and Energia goes deep, and Jet is going to get the old switcheroo on Energia. So we're seeing some great driving tactics here from our drivers all throughout the field. That's a battle for 8th and 9th, ladies and gentlemen. So great job by the drivers there to read what each other are doing on track in their battles. So Toolshed is in P12 here, catching back up to the pack, and Spider Team here in the back of the pack. He's not too far away. He's just a couple corners away from the pack here. So we'll have to keep our eye on our current championship leader here as he's progressing throughout the race. But Formula One is up on the racetrack here, still in P1, but he does have Average Viper here on his case. So let's jump on with Average Viper here as he's trying to chase Juan down here for P1. So again, this is a P2 driver, Average Viper. We're on board with him in his Group 4 Bmw M4, ladies and gentlemen. And he's just trying to get up to Formula One, who's currently the race leader. So I figured we'd just give you a juicy little shot here, little love from the inside of these beautiful race cars here at Nurburgring GP. And you know, this is a really great car track. But you see Viper gained a lot of time on Formula One coming out of the corner there. So we're coming up in NGK, and he's actually going to give him a little bit of a bump there. And then he's going to take a look, and he's going to back off. He's just going to settle in behind Juan here. Really great driving by Viper to be patient here, not forced to move, and maybe just put some pressure on our race leader here, and hopefully force a mistake from Formula One. So let's just move through the field real quick. We still have Dub sitting in P3 here, so he's doing a good job. We have Stangman starting to catch up to Dubs in P4, with Ghost just going around Walk Motorsports for P5 there. So Ghost is starting to make up some ground here, trying to catch up to that battle for 3rd and 4th place between Dubs and Stangman. Let's just jump up. Ghost really made up a whack of time coming into the corner there in the braking. So he's actually on the outside of Dubs coming around the Mercedes corners here. Is he going to be able to get this move done on the outside? So is Dubs going to be able to hold? Dubs looks like he just backs off a little bit. Let's go through. Gives him the racing line there. So Ghost manages to get through. Walks is now going to try and make a move. So is Walks going to be able to get around Dubs here now? You see Walks going a little bit wide around that corner, which is a totally fine line here at Nürburgring. Utilizing all the racetrack gives you a really good exit there, and he is on the inside of Dubs here, so great job by these drivers. Dubs losing a couple of positions there on the early stages of lap 7 here at Nürburgring, so dropping down into P6, but still looking really strong as he's right up on the back of Walk Motorsports, and we see Calypso is just coming in on the back end of this now here as well, so Jet in 8th. We've got Toolshed has now moved up into P9 as well, so Toolshed is on the move, ladies and gentlemen, here as well. We got Bunk, again, new driver, doing a good job here, sitting in P10 currently. We have Picteca here in P11. Oh, we've got Energia, who's just got into the dirt a little bit there. So getting back on track, just caught track edge there, spinning out and back off to the races. So where was that, and where is Spider Team? So Spider Team's actually just coming around the corner where Energia just got on track. So that's got to be a good feeling when you're a driver trying to chase down the pack there. You see a car, so that's going to give Spider Team a little extra jump now on the racetrack there. You can just probably see him push a little bit extra there to try and catch up to that driver. So Spider Team knows he's close to that pack now, so again, we're going to be keeping our eye on we'll be keeping our eye on Spider Team as his race progresses. Evening, my man. Joe coming in with the love. How you doing, Joe? Much love, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping in. Hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast. This is GT Champions, GTC4 Division, Round 9 at Nürburgring GP. This was ran on Saturday, March 12th, and we are just rebroadcasting this here for everybody today to see in all its glory. Great race so far tonight, so thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Ghost45, presented by RWB Racing. Main sponsors here, ladies and gentlemen, Detailing Group, and proudly partnered up with Metropolis, Pride of the Dragon, and High Pre Graphics. And as a matter of fact, while we're talking about High Pre Graphics, ladies and gentlemen, let's just toss up a juicy little shout out for High Pre there. So up in the top right center part of your screen, there is where you can see how to find out how to get a hold of High Pre. If you need some graphics done, you need a logo done, anything that's computer graphic related, these guys are your guys. They do fantastic work. Well, you can see it firsthand as we watch these amazing broadcasts done by all our great broadcasters here at GT Champions, right from Division 1 through Division 4. Absolutely top-notch stuff. We love working with them, and just big shout-out to Hypre there, as they put in a lot of work for all this stuff for GT Champions, and it just makes it look amazing. So, huge shout-out there to Hypre, as well as we are with, of course, Hypre driver Average Viper here in P2. He is trying to chase down race leader Formula 1. We now have Ghost 45, who is behind Viper in total standings, now trying to chase these two drivers down. So Ghost 45 is on a mission today, ladies and gentlemen. He has spun out, been sent to the back of the pack, had an incident with the driver. We can see him on a purple sector there as well. Stopped and waited for that driver to get back on track and back in the race, and continued on, and now back up into P3. So Stangman now here in 4th, still looking strong. Walk in 5th as well, looking strong. Devin is up into P6 here. He's looking good today too. Dub's looking very strong in 7th. We got Toolshed now up into P8. So Toolshed now looking to get up on the back end of Dubs here to get a move done. So Jet in P9. We've got Bunk still looking really good here in P10. Picteca is in P11, ladies and gentlemen, and Spider Team here in P12. And we are missing Energia, so we have lost Energia, ladies and gentlemen. So we have lost a driver here. I'm not sure what happened, as I've missed it, but somewhere along the way we have lost Energia, so we are down to 12 drivers here in the field today. Really unfortunate, but we'll have to just try again and get back on track next week for our season finale. So Formula 1 looking really good here in 1st place, trying to keep this man, Average Viper, right here, from getting around him here in P1. So Formula 1 doing a really good job here, keeping Average Viper behind him. But you can see Average Viper is putting the pressure on Formula 1. He's not forcing the issue here on Formula 1, but absolutely letting Formula 1 knowing, hey, I'm here, right here, look at me, big white BMW right here, yep, look, right here, and just hoping that Formula 1 is going to make that that crucial error as we jump on board with Viper here on that roof cam here on this BMW here for Hypre, as he's trying to get Viper in the Schumacher S's there. So I can't remember what this this sector here is called, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, but he says we're coming around here, and you know, it looks like you really need a lot of brake around Nurburgring GP here, but you really don't. It's a really high-speed track, except for really the first sector of the racetrack with the big hairpin in corner 1, and then of course the Mercedes corners, which are the trickiest part of the racetrack, in my personal opinion, of course. So coming up into NGK, the final chicane here at Nurburgring GP. Coming up to the final corner, which I believe is the Coca-Cola corner here at Nurburgring GP. And you can see pit lane just to the left there. And Viper just content to sit behind first place driver Formula 1 here, try to get away from our next driver behind, who is Ghost 45. And a great shot by our cameraman there, as we see all the drivers coming up to start and finish line there. Ghost in 3rd there. We got Stangman coming down in 4th. Walk Motorsports with Devin Calypso just behind in 5th and 6th place here today. A great shot by our camera crew. We got Dubs with Toolshed, who's going to try and make a move, so we are going to jump to that move. Unfortunately, the rest of our drivers don't get the cool shot on this lap, as we do have a move coming from Toolshed on Dubs. And again, Dubs giving just an amazing amount of room to the driver there, Toolshed, that he's battling. And Toolshed gets around quite easily there, so Dubs dropping down to 8th, Toolshed moving up into P7 there. Jet coming around into the Mercedes corners here in P9. Bunk now in Mercedes 1, coming into Mercedes 1, and I believe the next one is Mercedes 2. And just on bumper cam here with Bunk as he comes around. And you can see him getting a little bit of a slow exit there. Let's see if we can find a driver. Oh, we just missed Spider Team coming through there. Okay, we'll try to catch that next time around. We'll try to catch one. He never gave up, though. So, Formula 1 here sitting in P1, looking really good in that Apex Racing livery there. Beautiful red color there as well, really popping out on this nice sunny racetrack here today. Time on track, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, right now is currently about noon Germany time here. So sun's beating, track's nice and warm, lots of grip on track, and you can see Viper's just absolutely pushing one. But we see third place driver Ghost just off in the background now here. So Viper with a little bit of overspeed, having to go outside a little bit of one there to get some clean air to get that car to rotate, and that may be allowing third place driver now, Ghost 45, to catch right up. So now we've got a three-way battle potentially developing here for P1 as we see Stangman coming around the corner here. So we'll try to get this great shot coming down the start-finish line as all the cars come around the track here again. So we got Formula 1 P1, Viper 2, and Ghost in P3. We've got Stangman in 4th. We've got Walk coming up the racetrack here, sitting in P5 currently, with Devin Calypso in tow in P6. And then he's got Toolshed now starting to gain on him in P7. We got Dubs coming across there in P8 with Jet coming around in P9. And looking like he's coming across the racetrack with a penalty there. So we'll have to leave that up to the stewards to take a look at. We got Bunk in P10 there. Picteca coming through in 11, and Viper now on the back of, Spider Team 1, pardon me, on the back of this pack now, sitting in P12. So Spider Team has caught the pack. He's now chasing down 11th place driver Picteca. So we're approximately lap 11 in, and we had to have a pass for position. So let's just see if we can grab that here. Let's move on to Viper here. So we did see Ghost in P2 there, so I'm not sure where this happened. So coming in Mercedes 1, a little bit of contact between Juan and Viper there. So Ghost getting a really wide berth coming out of the corner. And actually see him get a really good exit there. And we were just talking about that a lap ago. So Ghost actually gets the inside beat on Viper there. Grabs that apex, gets the job done. And Ghost goes immediately defensive coming into the next corner there. Viper doing a great job staying outside, but he isn't able to get the move done back on Ghost. So Ghost tucks in between Viper and Juan. And is he going to move on Formula 1 here? No, he's actually just going to tuck back in coming around the corner here. So not sure what the play is here between this driver, but Ghost ahead of Viper now. So Ghost is on a march here apparently today as well. So we're going to stick with this as we have a literally nose-to-tail battle for P1, P2, and P3. We see Viper swerving across the racetrack. Ghost just going, nah, you got to work harder than that. Coming into NGK here, not NGK, sorry, a couple corners before the straightaway, before the chicane. So a little bit of distance between them, but these drivers are not going to give up here. We see Ghost on the back of Formula 1 here, and we see Viper on the back of, just off the back of Ghost 45 here. So Ghost going wide. Is Juan going to defend here? Juan looks, yeah, no, he's got enough room. Viper's going to go inside here. Ghost is going to absolutely squeeze him tight there, not give him any room. Viper is going to get the cutback, though, on Ghost. So Viper making a move back for P2 on Ghost there, as he did get a good run. But Ghost is going to try and hold the outside of Coca-Cola here. Is Ghost going to get this done? Ghost gets a really solid run on the outside on Viper there. Gets P2 back from Viper. Great battle by our P2 and P3 driver here. Ghost 45 and Average Viper. So we're coming into corner 1. What's going to happen into corner 1? And any one of these drivers going to try and attempt a move here. Let's get on with our race leader here. Formula 1 goes wide into corner 1. Ghost takes it shallow. So what is going to happen here? We're side by side coming into the Mercedes corners, ladies and gentlemen. So Formula 1 and Ghost 45 battling for the race lead. Juan does have the inside. Ghost is on the outside, but if he stays beside him, he has the inside for the next corner here. And Ghost is it. Juan has the outside berth. He's going to get a better run than Ghost here. Is Juan going to get back on Ghost? No. Okay, so position change here. Ghost is now in P1 with Formula 1 in P2. So really great battle by Formula 1 and Ghost 45. They're really risky move to try and make that pass through the Mercedes corners. They're both drivers doing a fantastic job getting around the corners safely, not touching, and Average Viper getting through there as well without making contact. Two drivers ahead, all three drivers coming out, nobody losing any position or any time on track out of that, and race on as you see Viper back on Formula 1, and both those drivers trying to catch back up to Ghost 45 there. And Stangman has had an opportunity here now with the three drivers battling to close that gap up on P2 and P3 and P1 as well. So potentially a four-way battle starting to develop here. And we have Walk Motorsports in a battle between Devin Calypso with Toolshed just behind these two now as we're coming up into the latter part of the racetrack here. So battles all over the racetrack here, and we are on lap 12. We are 25 minutes into this race, ladies and gentlemen, and there is battles happening everywhere here on track still. So really great job by all our drivers as Walk gets a little bit of distance on Devin Calypso there, but Toolshed is still all up in Calypso's business. So let's jump on with Toolshed here as he's trying to chase down Devin Calypso and Walk Motorsports here coming up into NGK here. Really tough corner, but if you get it right, you can get a really good exit. You actually see Toolshed does exactly that. He actually had to lay off a little bit there. And Calypso's actually going to try and make a move on Walk here. So let's jump up with that as Devin's trying to battle for that inside line. Walk was trying to squeeze him there, so a little bit of rubbers racing there, but fair game there as Walk was trying to squeeze him. And then Walk did want to go and try to make the move inside. Did not see Toolshed, just avoiding contact with Toolshed there. So Toolshed gaining a position on Walk there as well. So Walk losing 2 spots there. Toolshed's going to go inside on Calypso. Is he going to get the move done? They're going to be side by side coming through the Mercedes corners. Calypso does have the advantage here. Calypso is going to get back out ahead of Toolshed here. Great battle by these 3 drivers here right now on track. This is battle for P5, P6, and P7 as Toolshed has inside. As Calypso gets a little bit wide there, so Toolshed should get a good run coming out of these corners here using all that racetrack. And looks like Toolshed is going to get the job done here. No, Devin does good match him drag race coming into the next corner, but Toolshed is going to have the inside line coming through here, which means he can set up to defend, and that's exactly what he does here. So looking like Toolshed does get the job done here for the time being anyways on Devin Calypso. So Toolshed now up into P5 here as well, showing some pace and some push here today. So Devin Calypso now P6, still trying to taste, still all up in Toolshed's business. Like, hey, we ain't done yet. Where you think you going? You're not leaving without me, my friend. And then we got Walk here. We see Walk picking up a penalty there. So we'll have to get rid of that before the start-finish line. Woo, Dub's getting a little bit looser, having to eat a little bit of grass coming into the corner there. So good job not to lose the car there. But unfortunately, he's going to pick up a half-second penalty for that corner cut there too. But really great job just to keep control of the car in that situation. So it is what it is. And now we have Spider Team, ladies and gentlemen, up into P10. So our current championship's leader coming in round 9 is taking damage, had the pit, caught the pack, and now moved up into P10. So Bunk down into P11 and Picteca down in P12 here. So back with our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost 45, and actually Ghost 45 now opening up a pretty large gap there and currently holding fastest lap on track, as you see the purple lap there with a 206.326 at the moment here on the racetrack. We'll see as we go through the drivers if that's been beaten. We have a battle here between Formula 1 and Average Viper now for P2. So is Viper finally going to make that move on Formula 1? As Viper finally had enough driving behind Formula 1 and said, okay, I think it's time for me to try and do this here. I can't let the Ghost get any further ahead of me. As again, Ghost is chasing Viper for second overall in the standings coming into round 9. So it is important that Viper gets around Formula 1 here as quickly as possible now, not to let Ghost get too far ahead of him here. So Viper is now starting to apply some real solid pressure here. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between the 2 drivers. We see Viper back off. Formula 1 gets around the corner, no problem there. Good battle for P2 here, ladies and gentlemen. I can't even know where to look on the racetrack right now because there's just battles happening everywhere, but this is for podium position potentially here. So we are going to stick with this battle. So let's, this is what Juan's seeing in his review mirror right now. A great shot through that rear arrow fin there on these BMWs here as well. Absolutely fun little cars, ladies and gentlemen. These cars are, I've got a surprising amount of grip. So they're a lot of fun to drive around the racetracks all over the world here on Gran Turismo Sport. So we see Viper closing up on Juan a little bit there. So we're going to see Juan, Viper probably grab some slipstream here. So let's jump on with Viper here now as he's chasing Formula 1 down coming up to NGK. Is Viper going to make a move? He is. He's going to look inside here. Juan is going to squeeze him. So Juan is going to try and squeeze him there. Ooh, a little bit of contact between the drivers, but again, Formula 1 opting, we're going to take another look at that, you guys. So, Viper gets into the slipstream, does go inside. Juan's like, okay, that's fine. You can have the inside, but you can only have the inside. And then I think Juan just missed his braking point a little bit there. Had to cut the corner. And then, of course, as we can see, game resetting his car there, and Stangman actually getting a P3 out of that deal too. So benefit for Stangman just running his paces there in P4, staying close to these drivers, and eventually one of them makes a mistake. So Average Viper getting done what he needs to get done there. So a little bit of a racing incident going to NGK there. That's about all I see that incident as, ladies and gentlemen, as Formula One was just squeezing Viper as shallow into the corner as he could. And Formula One looked like he just made a bit of a mistake under braking there. So Viper is the benefit of that battle. Now in P2, trying to chase our current race leader, Ghost 45, down. So Stagman now up in the P3 here as he's coming into Mercedes 1, with Formula One now trying to chase him back down. A little bit of time lost, but no big deal. Lots of race left, ladies and gentlemen. We're only 31 minutes into this race, so we still have plenty of race left to go here tonight. Devin Calypso looking really good here again in 6th place as well. Walk doing well here in 7th. Dubs having a fantastic race here, sitting in P8. Spider Team now has gotten ahead of Jet and up into P9, so Spider Team is on the move, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, oh boy, when this guy decides that he's had enough and he wants to get up to the front of the pack, he starts moving. So we're going to be keeping our eye on Spider Team here. He hasn't popped a purple lap here yet. Currently looking like Ghost is still holding that, but he definitely is cruising right now as we see him ripping through the field. So back with our race leader here, Ghost 45, as he is starting to get a pretty good gap on our 2nd place driver, Average Viper. And actually, let's just go take a quick look at that. We haven't done that in a while, ladies and gentlemen, yet this year. So this is exactly where we paused the race here. This is exactly where the timing sits between all the drivers. So Viper is currently sitting 10.5 seconds behind Ghost 45. So that battle with Formula One absolutely costing Viper some time there, and benefit to Ghost being able to really make some traction there to try and get that gap. Formula One is about 4.5 seconds behind Viper at this point, and currently obviously just making a move on Stangman for P3 there. So Stangman is just nipping right behind Formula One. Toolshed is starting to gain on these guys, 3.9 seconds behind, with Calypso 3 seconds behind him. Walk Motorsports is 7 behind them, and then a 1.2 second gap from Dubs to Motorsports. The Spider Team is at what looks to be 1.6, ladies and gentlemen, and then Jet is 2.3 behind them. Bunk is 2.4, and Picteca is a little bit behind the rest of the drivers. They're maybe trying to save some fuel, perhaps. So back on with the race. Just a fun little thing I forget that we can do sometimes because this is a rebroadcast. You goofed. That's all right, Juan. It happens to the best of the racers out there, my man. So Average Viper trying to chase Ghost down. So a 10.5 second gap right now on lap 15 between the two drivers. So we'll be monitoring that. And we see Formula One here just ahead of Stangman. Stangman did take a look at maybe making a move in NGK there, but opting just to tuck back in behind 3rd place driver Formula One. And just stay nice and patient. It paid off for him earlier. Why change the strategy now? He's doing really good here in 4th place. He's got Slipstream here for P3. Getting a really good exit out of that final corner there, and right up on one here. So are we going to have a potential move coming into corner 1 here? He is going to look inside. Is he going to get the job done? Formula One just has enough space there. Takes that nice juicy wide line. Gets a good run coming into the Mercedes corners here, and able to keep Stangman behind him there. So a little battle there for P3. We got Toolshed now up in P5 here, trying to catch up to those two drivers. Calypso behind Toolshed. We've got Walk in 7th, and Spider Team has now just gotten around Dubs. Let's see if we can see when that happened here. It looked like it happened a little while ago, so we missed that one, unfortunately. And Jet trying to bleed the penalty in a bad spot on track there. Making a pass there as well on Dubs. Dubs getting a little bit of a slow run there. I'm not sure. And now hard on the brakes. Dubs is all up in Jet's business here as we're coming around. So, a couple of things there. But moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we won't get into that right now. We'll let we'll let everybody else that deals with that stuff deal with that stuff. So Picteca here, just a little bit behind the pack right now, maybe potentially saving fuel. tires and fuel could be an issue today. We don't know yet. We'll drop that banner here in about another 2 minutes or so, ladies and gentlemen. So our current race leader with a half-second penalty himself here. So let's just stick with our race leader. Make sure he gets rid of that bad boy before he crosses the start-finish line. And you can see him taking advantage of that nice big fat juicy gap he's got there. Gonna just bleed it off coming through the chicane so he doesn't lose any time coming up the start-finish line here. Not the best place to bleed a penalty, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to say that right now. Obviously, if you have cars right near you, but Ghost have a gap there. There's nobody around him there, so just opting to take the slower section of the racetrack to bleed that penalty. But does give Viper a chance to gain some time up on Ghost there as well, having to bleed that penalty off. And he didn't get it out quick enough either, so losing extra time, not being able to bleed that penalty properly either. So Stagman here still on Formula One's rear bumper here for 4th and 3rd place. So, I feel like Stagman might have felt like he maybe made a little bit of contact with Formula One there, and you see him backing off there, but that's going to give Toolshed a really good opportunity to get a move done on Stagman there. To me, it didn't look like he got into the back of Formula One there. To me, it looked like it was uber close. But Stagman doing what he felt is right, doing the right thing there, and just making sure that Juan didn't lose his position there if he did tap him. But unfortunately for Stagman, that did cost him position there to our 4th place driver now, Toolshed. So Toolshed's now looking for podium as he's trying to chase down 3rd place driver Formula One here. So we're seeing our top drivers coming in round 9. Realizing that every position matters, and you see these drivers really pushing hard here as they're all having to work their way through the field, with the exception of Average Viper, who has had a good race start and just been able to be up in the front of the pack the whole race. So we see Spider Team here now. We're going to stick with Spider Team here as my camera angle's not working. We were going to look over. Whoa. I think Spider Team's trying to get the position back there. He made just a slight amount of contact to Motorsports there, and I'm not sure what all that was about, but he was just trying to get the position back, and Motorsport maybe didn't catch that he was trying to get the position back there. I'm not sure. So, unfortunate there for Spider Team. He's having a little bit of a rough race here today, it looks like. A couple of little bump and rubs and nudges, and then some things happening to that beautiful BMW there today. But again, all the drivers showing great respect for each other on track here when they do make contact with each other, making sure that they don't take that position from the driver they make contact with, no matter what it costs them. That cost both the drivers a little bit of time there, but again, ladies and gentlemen, lots of race time left. And as a matter of fact, we're actually going to drop this bottom banner so you guys can see the tire and fuel situation. So we'll go through our grid positions here and get back to the race leader. We'll drop that banner. So let's take a look at our tires here. So our race leader goes 45 on the mediums. About 15, 20-ish% top wear on those fronts there. So looking pretty good on tire wear. And just a little under half a tank of fuel there. So, and pretty good pace, 207s, 206 race times there. So Average Viper behind 40 goes 45 here. Ooh, on the soft tires, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have drivers on different tire compounds. So interesting strategy by Average Viper here. Obviously, he figured he could just jump out front real early in the race and try to drive away from the pack, get that big gap, and hopefully just hold it off on mediums. Unfortunately for him right now, that's not working out in his favor, as he's in 2nd place currently on those soft tires, with the leader going to be going on a soft tire stint once pit window's done. So interesting strategy from Viper, and a quarter tank of fuel. So you can see the soft tires are definitely using a little more fuel there. Formula One opting to go on that racing medium tire as well, and his tires are just a little bit more worn than the race leaders, about 25-30% worn, but about a little less fuel as well there. But he's been battling very hard here all race long as well, so expecting to see a little extra tire wear and fuel consumption from the drivers battling. So Toolshed here, who we've been seeing climbing through the field, tires about the same as Formula One, and about the same amount of fuel, a little less fuel actually. He's been pushing a little hard there. We have Stagman here. Tires look fantastic on Stagman's car here as well, but his fuel is down to under a quarter tank as well. So far, Ghost 45, who's our current race leader and pace setter at the moment, with the best tires and fuel so far in the field. Devin Calypso here in P6. Tires a little bit more worn. Fuel's looking really good though. And our current championship leader coming in around 9, Spider Team, his tires look really good here as well. Just a little bit more worn than the race leaders, and fuel is identical. So clearly Spider Team 1 and Ghost Terror knows something a little more about these cars over the rest of the drivers when it comes to the fuel and the tires on these cars. So Walk's tires look fantastic as well. So Walk obviously in the know on the tire situation here as well here at Nurburgring GP today. And fuel down to a quarter tank. So it is looking like fuel is going to be the factor here today, ladies and gentlemen, more so than the tires. As we do see some drivers' tires are worse shaped than others, but you're going to see that based off how hard a driver's driving, their braking style, their driving style. You see Jed here's a good example. You see a lot of brake smoke coming from him coming into the corner, so he's coming in and braking really late. And you can see how that's wearing on his front tires there. And his fuel is getting fairly low there as well. Dubs with some front aero damage there now on his car. Tires looking pretty good. Fuel looking pretty good. We got Bunk here. His tires are in a little bit of rough shape, but his fuel situation is definitely dire. But pit window is officially open here now, so he can jump into the pits, grab some fuel, and continue on with his race. We got Picteca here on that soft tire as well, but looking good on fuel. So 2 drivers opting to go on the soft tire and the rest of the field on the medium. So let's stick with our race leader here for the time being until we see drivers start to make their pit stops. Unless I see a battle happening on track here. And there could be. We'll go through the field. Actually, we do have a nice little group here. Let's go with these. Let's stick with 3, 4, and 5 here. As we have Formula 1 in P3, with Toolshed in P4, and Stangman in P5 here. All battling for position coming into the pit window. We see the race leader go by and Viper go by. It doesn't look like either one of those 2 drivers are going to opt to take the pits here yet, so, and neither one of these drivers do either. So all the first 5 drivers opting to continue on at the beginning of the pit window here. So let's jump in with Devin here as he's coming around now. Is he going to jump into the pits as he's coming around here? No, but we do have Spider Team. Spider Team is going to opt to jump in very early. You see Spider Team there with 35% fuel in the tank there as well. So Spider Team, as we see him having a bit of a rough start to the race here. So he's absolutely 100% looking for an undercut situation here, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we're going to see him jump into pit lane so early. So as a racing competitor, he's got in his mind, my tires are feeling really good here. I got lots of fuel. You know what? Let's just get on these softs. Let's make some time up on some of these drivers and see what we can do. So, really great shot at that livery there with Spider Team. So he's coming out to the pits now. We've got Bunk coming in now to get some fuel and tires here as well. So we'll get a great shot here at Bunk's car as well. Just a real simple, nice, good, very classic. Digging the livery design here on Bunk's car. Beautiful job meeting all the requirements. Again, new driver, ladies and gentlemen. So great job at knowing, being in the know. And, you know, that just attributes to our amazing administration staff and all the people behind the scenes here, GT Champions. They work really, really hard behind the scenes to make sure that all our drivers are always in the loop and aware of what's going on with any rule changes. And, of course, anything that's going on. Stewarding, officiating, you know, anything that's going on maybe between drivers or in a group or anything like that. You know, they work super hard. So big shout out to our GT staff, your GT Champion staff, everybody behind the scenes, all the gentlemen that put the series on, all the people that run the series, all our broadcasters, all our officiating staff. You know, they do a great job here. They put on a fantastic series, ladies and gentlemen, and just a big shout out to them. They work hard. And it shows every week, week in, week out on track. These drivers put on a fantastic show. They are always abiding by respect and driving with the absolute utmost class that they can provide. And it's just really great action to watch. So, and I mean, on a Monday night, nothing better than a race, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely nothing better. Hey, good evening, Rita. Good evening. Dubs here. So a lot of the drivers seem like they're opting to go later into the pit window here. So I think we're going to... Oh, we got a little bit of contact there between Toolshed and Formula One there. So Stangman's going to benefit from that. Again, Stangman just chilling back there, being super patient, just driving his race, gaining a spot from a mistake from another driver here. So Stangman back up into P4, Toolshed down to P5. We may see one or two of them drivers in that group pit this time around just to get out of traffic. So we see Jet in the pits here now with that Ukraine livery on there as well. So big shout out there from SPN Jet. Of course, for our situation overseas there. Hearts and prayers go to all the innocent people involved in the matter. And just a really great shout out there for support for Ukraine from driver Jet, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Bunk, who has pit. We've got race leader Ghost 45 here as he's coming into NGK right now, I believe. So let's see if our race leader opts to pit, and it doesn't look like he's going to. The race leader continues on down the racetrack, so there's still 5 minutes remaining in the window. These guys are doing just a little over 2-minute laps, so the drivers up in the front can definitely get a couple more laps in before they're going to absolutely have to pit to make the window. But again, if the drivers don't make the window, they will be assessed a penalty. So does Viper choose to pit here? Yes, Viper is going to pit here on this lap, so maybe Viper also looking for a little bit of an undercut situation here on first place driver Ghost 45, and I believe we just seen Stangman pulling into the pit here as well. So Stangman coming into the pits here as well, so we'll get that beautiful shot of Average Viper as he comes into the pits here. I second that. Big shout out to all the staff at GT Champions there on the GT Champions YouTube, from of course the viewers in the YouTube, some of the drivers as well, and they work hard. They deserve the shout out, 100%. Big round of applause. And there we go. There is a great shot of Viper. We want to get a shot of Stangman's car here too, so we want to make sure we get it in the picture before Viper takes off here, so we don't miss Stangman's car. See him there with FBM, Certainteed. If you guys are unaware of who FBM is, it is a drywall supply company here in Canada, and Certainteed is a brand of drywall or gyprock or gypsum board, depending on what part of the world you are. It depends on what you call it. So that's who he has on the side of his car there. How do I know that, you guys ask? Well, I used to be a drywalling contractor for many, many years, and had a account with FBM for many, many years, so that's how I know who they are. I just happened to catch that there. Again, you get really great shots of the liveries when the drivers go into pit lane here, so just, yeah, big shout out there. Of course, Stangman, a Canadian driver, so I'm Canadian as well, so just kind of funny how that all just kind of happened there. So we have Ghost. Is Ghost going to jump into the pits here? Ghost is now going to jump into the pits here as well. Definitely time for one more lap for Ghost if he opted to, but I think Ghost is opting to not let Viper get too much time gained on him here, probably. I mean, we've seen much from the same thing at Red Bull Ring as well, with the battle between Ghost and Viper at Red Bull Ring in round 7 as well. You've seen Ghost pit directly the lap after Viper, not to let Viper get too much time gained on Ghost. So I'm assuming it's probably a similar strategy here today. Juan's also coming into the pits, Toolshed right in tow. I'm guessing that... So Rockefeller Racing livery there from Ghost 45, GT 45 Gaming, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that's myself. And that's why we're doing this on Monday instead of Saturday, because I do participate in the series myself. So I am on my way out. Formula One was next in pit, so we will get a beautiful look at Formula One's Apex Racing livery here as he comes into his pit box here. Looked like he might have stopped for a coffee and an ice cream on the way. It took forever for him to get in there, but there he is. Great shot of that Apex Racing livery there on Formula One's car. And then, of course, Toolshed was right behind Formula One, so we want to make sure we get some shout out there to Toolshed's livery as well. And then I believe Calypso was next. And we got Walk. He's just getting on the stands. I believe Dubs is just coming in. So there's a good shot. Good classic livery from Walk there. And I'm not sure if Dubs is actually invisible. Dubs might be invisible here. We might have the... Oh, there he is. There's his car. All right. Beautiful Cancer livery there on Dub's car there. We race as one there on the side of the car. Beautiful stuff by all the drivers. Liveries look fantastic week in and week out by all our drivers here in the GTC series, right through GTC 1 all the way down through GTC 4, ladies and gentlemen. So just great stuff by all our drivers here. And you know what we haven't done yet, ladies and gentlemen? We have not done an onboard lap with our race leader here yet today. So we'll do that with Ghost 45 once he gets around his lap here. And then we'll take a look at that live timing gap. As all the pit stops are now officially done, with that being said, let's put our juicy little beautiful banner back up here. As we got Ghost just coming through NGK here, coming up to the Coca-Cola corner. And then we'll jump on board with Ghost 45 here. And we'll do a little talk through with you guys around the track here. So of course this is myself driving here right at the moment, so I can explain to you exactly what's happening here on track as we're going around Nurburgring GP. So we're in 7th gear, we're short shifting. We're going to brake right before the curb here. Brake as hard as you can in a straight line and lift off the brake as you turn in. Let the car coast. Once you have it rotated, back on the gas and then off the throttle just a little bit. Catch the apex here coming into Mercedes 1. Once you know you're good and straight, back on the throttle. A little bit of a late couple of quick pops into 2nd gear. Come around, grab that apex on the Mercedes corner, lift a little bit, and then hammer on it. Come really wide around this corner. And this is what I was talking about earlier. It gives you a really good exit there. And as one of the few racetracks, you can really use the corner there. And then here is just a quick downshift. Grab that apex. Little lift with some braking. Little trail braking to get back on the apex. And then a wide exit here. Nurburgring. A lot of drivers make the mistake of trying to get mid-apex on this racetrack, and in reality here on Nürburgring GP, the late apex is the way to go here. So again, downshifting into 3rd gear here, and not taking that mid-apex. You're going to see him grab late apex before he gets on throttle here. Gets a really good exit coming out of the corners. And then this is a flat-out section here, the Schumacher S's. This is flat-out, ladies and gentlemen, in these Group 4 cars. Catch a little bit of that curve, get a good run-out coming up here. And then we're coming in. You're going to want to brake just before the green here. Catch this curb. You can't take it all. You got to keep 2 tires on the asphalt or you will get a penalty. And then here just a little bit of trail braking and on the throttle mid-apex and up this long straightaway coming into NGK, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a pretty solid lap here by Ghost 45 as we're coming into NGK now. Now in this BMW you can brake at about the 110 meter board here real quick on the downshift. This car shifts really beautifully. And you can see it grabs really good early on the throttle. Coming into this apex, right when you're going to downshift, is you just let go of your brakes, coast around the corner early on the throttle, take it nice wide run. You're going to get a good run through here. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, a 2:05.903 from our race leader, Ghost 45 today, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll do some onboards with some of our other drivers here as well today. Throughout the second half of this race, as I keep hitting the wrong button. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody's evening going? I hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast. Don't forget to smash some reactions, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate all the support here, GT Champions. If you're not subscribed to the GT Champions YouTube hit yet, and you're viewing and you're loving this race, go ahead and subscribe to the GTC Champions YouTube channel there, and you'll never miss another moment of the action. 4 divisions, ladies and gentlemen. There is 4 divisions of racing action here at GT Champions. And, of course, in between seasons, these guys always have something special up their sleeves for some fun stuff in between the World Cup events as well. So if you don't want to miss any of the racing action here at GT Champions, just hit that subscription button there over there on the YouTube, and you'll never miss another moment of the racing action here at GT Champions. So we're just going to go through the field. We're going to see how everything's looking here, and we see now with around the pit stops and the drivers have kind of spaced out a little bit. So we've got with that being done, let's do the quick live timing here. So 10.5 seconds was the gap between Ghost Hair and Ghost 45, sorry, and Viper. About 4 laps before pit window. So now going into the live timing, Ghost 45 has a 34-second gap on who is currently second place Spider Team. So that undercut has worked beautifully for current championship leader Spider Team. So Spider Team has some work to do there to catch Ghost 45. So 34 seconds between first and second place. And then Viper is just behind Spider Team here with just 0.9 seconds. Formula One is right behind this battle with literally less than 0.2 of a second. Toolshed's just behind, so there's a juicy battle. So we're going to go get to that battle now that we see the live timing going on here. Stagman currently sitting in P6, 6 seconds back. Devin is 10 seconds back of him. And then, of course, these drivers starting to really space out at the end of the field here. And currently on track, Toolshed has fastest lap on track with a 2:05.486. So with that being said, let's get to that juicy battle going on up for P2, 3, 4, and 5 here, ladies and gentlemen. As we see that live timing is super close. So we've got Spider Team in second, we've got Viper in third, we got Toolshed in fourth, and we've got Formula One in fifth. So we have got the top 5 drivers in the point standings overall sitting in the top 5 of the race here in round 9. So every one of these drivers showing they know exactly how important this race is here today. And they are all pushing for position here. So great battle here right now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We don't even know. This is going to be absolutely great. Great job, guys, says Sam. Formula One saying, "Oh, LL, yeah, that undercut was the move of the season." Absolutely, Drew. That was a massive undercut by Spider Team. So we do have Toolshed taking out a quick little peek on Viper there. Now again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Viper, a little bit of contact between Toolshed and Formula One there going into NGK. So again, these drivers showing a ton of respect to each other. Formula One backing out, backing off, making sure Toolshed's going again, and back on track, race on. So we've seen every single one of our top 5 drivers except for, no, we've seen every one of our top 5 drivers so far in this race be in some form of incident, either with each other or another driver on track trying to get position. So battle on, and that you know, every one of these drivers wants that. So great stuff here by all the GTC4 guys here today, as the race has been fantastic so far here in the first half. We do have a little bit of spacing now in our drivers. Dubs here in 10th. We've got Bunk in 11th. Looking really good here. Brand new to the series. Picteka here rounding out our field today. So Ghost 45 in the lead. And just dropped the fastest lap on track. And we just missed it. It was a 2:05 flat. 2:05.044. So currently that is the fastest lap on track here today, and see if anybody can do anything faster than that. So pretty decent lap here at Nurburgring GP in these GR4 cars. I believe the world record laps on this track is probably right around that 2:01 2-minute mark, and I mean, that is a lap, let me tell you, man. That is like the best of the best of the best. So a 2:05 flat, pretty good here for the GTC4 guys for sure. Showing some good pace, all these guys. As we look at Spider Team here, he's, 2:05s, 2:06s too as well on these soft tires. We got Toolshed here. He's in that range as well on the soft tires as well. So average Viper, of course, he is on a different compound tire than these drivers. So be interested to see how he fares out here in this battle for P2 through to P5, as he now has Formula One starting to put some pressure on him here. Formula One's going to go outside there. A little bit of monkey business from the drivers, going, I'm going to go here. No, now I'm going here. So Formula One just taking his time there, getting through NGK nice and safe. And good to see if he can pull up on Viper coming up into the start-finish line straight away here, coming out of Coca-Cola. So, he got really loose there. Great job by Formula One to keep the car together, and still on the back end of average Viper here. So, get a little bit loose there, losing about 1/10 of a second there, but nothing too major. Going to get in that slipstream, and Viper's just going to pull him right back up into there. So, coming around the first corner here, we're coming up into the Mercedes corners, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me here. I need to refresh my palette as I'm losing my voice slightly. All right, so Viper looking at trying to get the move back on Juan, as Juan does get around average Viper there for P4. So Juan now around Viper, now trying to get back up on the back of Toolshed here. who's currently sitting in P3. So great job by Formula One to get around Average Viper there, and not making Average Viper's bid for that first place finish any easier here today to continue that chase for the title here. So Average Viper has some work to do, so we'll be keeping our eye on that as the race progresses. We have Stagman here in 6th place, looking very strong again here today. He's been a very consistent, solid, steady drywall here. He's got drive it on the rear quarter panel of that car as well. That's a stucco product, ladies and gentlemen. We could go all day on this. We have Devin Calypso here in P7. Ooh, walking a little bit looser, having to get into the grass there, so cutting a little bit of grass there for the track maintenance crew. He's going to pick up a half-second penalty for that. But again, same as Dumpsters we've seen earlier, getting a little bit sideways, just having to use that grass to keep the car on track, keep it in a straight line. So he'll eat that penalty happily, not to lose the car around on the racetrack here. Jet in P9. We've got Dubs here in P10, Bunk in P11, and Picteca cruising in P12. He does see the blue flag here on Picteca, so our current race leader, Ghost 45 here, is gaining on Picteca here, so Picteca looking to be a lap down here within the next lap or two, unless our race leader makes a mistake here, spins out or something crazy like that. Could happen. We've seen it happen lots on the Ghost 45 this season. He's spun quite a few times in a few of these races, so it's not out of the question by any means. So Stagman here in 6. We're just going through the field. We're just looking for any developing battles potentially, anything happening right now. This kind of is the closest battle, I believe. Is Ghost coming up on Picteca here, so we'll just stick with this for a second here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, just a big shout out to our sponsors here at the GT Champions World Cup. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Season 3, Round 9 at Nurburgring GP here in Germany. So GT Champions and the sponsors, Detailing Group, Metropolis, Pride of the Dragon, and High Prix have loaded all the race cars up, flown these guys and their crews over to Germany, and we're racing. We're about an hour into this 90-minute race here, so we have about 30 minutes remaining, and you see Ghost getting around Picteca there. Not too much issue, getting a little bit of curb there. You might see him pick a penalty up for that here. And no, the stewards, track stewards being very gracious there from Ghost, not giving him that penalty there. Spider Team now sitting in 2nd place, so Spider Team has had a heck of a drive. So, I mean, we definitely have some drivers up for a Driver of the Day award if there was one here in this race for sure, as we have Toolshed Spider Team getting into contact early in the race. Spider Team having to pit on lap 2 and now sitting in P2. Toolshed also waiting for Spider Team going to the end of the pack, sitting up in P3, and our current race leader having Innocent early on in the race going to the back of the pack, currently sitting in P1. So our top 3 drivers have come all the way through the field here to get up onto the podium today. Formula One, who has stayed up near the top end of this race, this whole race, is just looking very strong and consistent here today, and trying to chase Toolshed down to get back on that podium. We have Average Viper behind, trying to chase Formula One back down here to try and get back into the fight for that podium. And Stagman here is now starting to try and chase Viper down. So Stagman's starting to gain a little bit of time on Average Viper here as well. We see Calypso coming down the straight there, just off in the distance now as well. So, I mean, he's able to see the driver up ahead of him on the straight. We got Walk is a little bit further behind us. He's just coming through NGK here. With Jet starting to close up on Walk Motorsports here. So maybe a potential battle brewing for P8, P9 here in the next couple laps. So we have Dubs coming up to NGK. We see Bunk starting to catch up to Dubs there. And Picteca here in P12. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, our race leader. Not a whole lot going on here at the moment. So let's take that time to give our shout out to one of our partners here at GT Champions, one of our sponsors, Metropolis. So a little something for you guys. Just one sec. All right, so little message from our one of our beautiful sponsors here at GT Champions this season, Metropolis, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful stuff they put together there for GT Champions to put on the broadcast here. Absolutely great little video there. So again, our current leader, Ghost 45 there, showing some great pace there. 205s, 206 is currently on track here. So Ghost is looking very hungry here today for a race win. We have Spider Team 1, our current championship leader here, coming in around 9 in P2. And he's in those 206s. And we see some 205s there in the earlier part of the stint there as well. So he's looking very quick here as well. We got Toolshed now as well, chasing Ghost in the standings, losing P3 to Ghost after round 8. So he's trying to chase Ghost back down to get back on the podium overall. So he's up here in P3, and his pace looks fantastic as well. He's also in those 206s with a 205s, just a one flat 207 there. And all it takes is a little wiggle to lose a tenth of a second on this racetrack. So Formula One here behind these guys, and he's on just a slightly slower pace, just slightly. He's just a little bit behind, about a half second behind our podium drivers at the moment. And then we have Average Viper here. He's on the medium tires, remember, ladies and gentlemen. So he is definitely off pace from the guys ahead of him. And right now, Viper's job is to try and keep this guy, Stagman, behind him here before the end of this race. So Stagman's pace is looking fantastic here too, as he's in the too low 207, starting to dip into 206s himself. So starting to feel really comfortable as those tires are starting to wear in, starting to get some good grip under the car. The car's a little bit lighter on fuel now, so making the car a little bit faster. Devin Calypso here in 7th place. We got Walk Motorsports in 8th. Jet here sitting in 9th. We've got Dubs currently sitting in 10th place. We've got a Bunk in 11th, and Picteca here currently sitting in 12th place. So, is there a battle somewhere here on track? Not at the moment. Let's jump on board with our current championship leader, Spider Team, and do an onboard with our current championship leader here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Sam in GTC YouTube chat asking if the drivers get promoted to GTC 3 next season, and if the answer to that currently will be no. So the way it works here at GT Champions, Sam, is the drivers have a registration period. So the drivers that register before the registration period closes have a qualifying day. So what GT Champions does is they set up a track car combination for a qualifier, and what happens is they do qualifiers. So each driver goes into this qualifying lobby, and they have to come and do an out lap and 3 hot laps, and then they have to stay on track until GTC official, verifies their qualifying time, and then they take all those qualifying times and they set the divisions up based off the qualifying time. So unless it changes from how it's been set up so far throughout the first 3 seasons, what will happen is next season, for season 4, when they determine the series and the race combinations, they'll put registration out again, and most likely it will be a similar process where the drivers will come in, they'll do some form of qualifying process to determine their division, and then of course the World Cup season will progress forward from there. So much like this season, that's how all the drivers got separated in their divisions this season. They had to do a qualifier of 3 hot laps, and were placed based off their times. So there is no promotion, so to speak, at the moment for that process to move up to the division. So if these guys want to get up into the next division, then they're going to have to qualify their way into it next season. So just to answer your question there, I did see it pop up there as we were doing that onboard. Right, Mr. Leo, yeah, you guys had a great race there this weekend too. That was a fantastic race. Don't forget to check out the other GTC races, ladies and gentlemen. They are here on the GT Champions YouTube channel. GTC 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the races all season long are posted up on the GT Champions YouTube. So if you missed a race and you want to check it out, it is there for you guys to watch. So we do have Walk here in 8th place. Now the drivers have really separated, so the pit window actually really separated the drivers a fair bit here. Ghost 45 is really cruising along here. He's still dropping down 205s and 206s here. Now at lap 33 into the race here, so he is just on a mission today. Spider Team, same thing. He is flying right now. Having a little bit of a slow lap there last lap. Must have made a bit of a mistake, but potentially looking at that live timer, maybe thinking that he's just running out of time to catch P1, and maybe the focus should be on keeping P3, who's trying to chase him down behind here. So Toolshed has some great pace moving here too as well. P2 and P3's pace are very similar. P3 is actually just a little bit quicker right now, so we may see a battle developing for P2 here before the end of the race. And we still have a little over 20 minutes remaining here in the race tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Stagman here, who's now up into P5. So Stagman has managed to find his way around Average Viper, and Average Viper's call to start on that soft tire, seemingly biting him in the butt a little bit here in round 9, as he's down into P6 here now. So I guess what we could do is we can bring up the starting grid based off where these guys started here today, and see where they're running on track here right now, and what that could potentially mean as far as standings goes. So let me just bring that up for you guys here. So that's the current standings coming into round 9 here, ladies and gentlemen. So you see Spider Team leading the division with 122 points. Average Viper in second with 103. Ghost 45 sitting there with 89 points. Toolshed with 86. You got Formula One right there too with 81. Then you have Marchie Boy with 74, who's not in the race today, so good for Devin Calypso at 72. Stagman sitting there with 65. Motorsports with 49, and Picteca rounding out that top 10 there with 43 points. So definitely lots of room to jump positions here yet in this GTC4 standings. So really good stuff right there. Where is the starting grid? That's the one we're looking for. So currently Dubs is sitting in P10, so top 10 finish here right now currently for Dubs, so he's looking pretty good. Starting at P1, he had a really good strong start to the race here, just falling off a little bit. Noam didn't make the race, so not in the race. Ace Energy, who started P3, having some form of issue on very early on in the race, about lap 11 or 12, somewhere in there. Maybe having a disconnect issue or something of the form there, so we're not sure what happened there with Energia. And then we have Picteca, who started P4, now currently sitting in P12, so having a little bit of a rough race here, struggling just a little bit there in that BMW today. And then Marchie Boy again, not in the race, so good for Devin Calypso, who's currently sitting in P7. So good points coming for Devin Calypso. If he can finish P7 or better, should easily allow him to jump Marchie Boy in the division standings there as well. And then Formula One started in P7, who's currently now sitting in P4. So again, P1, you've seen just earlier there. Actually, you know what? We could pop those up for you guys and let you have a look at them too while we're at it, I guess, hey? So as you can see, Juan there with 81 points, only a few points behind Toolshed. So that fourth place position is quite important here for Formula One. We see Stangman starting in P8. Stangman's now sitting in P5. Really good points coming for Stangman, and he's only a few points behind Calypso. So if he can stay two or three positions ahead of Calypso here, that's going to put those two drivers really close together in the points as well. Ghost 45 starting in 9th, currently sitting in the race lead here. So again, that's pretty important here in the standings as well, as you see him with 14 points behind our second place driver Viper right now, who's currently sitting in P6. So Ghost at the moment is looking to gain some really good points on that second place driver here, and with Viper being in 6th place and Spider Team currently running in 2nd, that is mathematically potentially could put Viper out of the run for the title here today. So some big implications could be happening here in the standings in the race here today. Spider Team starting in 10th currently, again, like I said, sitting in P2. So doing really good here to secure really solid points for his charge for the championship title here this season. We had Viper, who started just behind there. He's now currently sitting in P6. So right now, he is, out of the 5 drivers battling for those top 5 positions right now, he is in the back of them all, looking to lose the biggest at the moment. Devin Calypso currently sitting here again at P7. So Toolshed started in 12th, who's chasing Ghost in for P3 at the moment in the standings. He's currently sitting 3rd, so he is behind Ghost 45, but he's also ahead of Viper. So that's going to allow him to gain some points on Viper as well. So these standings are really shaking up to be really good going into the final round, ladies and gentlemen, as the race sits at the moment. We have Walk Motorsports starting in 13th place, and he's sitting currently in 8th, so he's looking good to build some points on his top 10 in the standings here as well. Benjo not making the race today. We do have Jet, who's currently sitting in 9th. He is just under the top 10 in the standings here. We have Bunk, who's brand new to the series, so he doesn't have anything registered on the point standings yet. So all drivers looking really, really good here on track today. So let's just remove all that mumbo jumbo off the screen for you guys. Let's get to the race. What do we got left here? We got 14 minutes and 19 seconds left of the race. We've got Ghost 45 coming up on 10th place driver Dubs now. And Ghost just making a quick sweeping little move on the inside there and gets around. You can see him flashing his 4-ways there to Dubs, saying, "Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, mate." So great job by those two drivers to get around nice and safe and continue on their way. We see Spider Team here in P2 looking very good here as well. Again, just looking to add to that points total he's got going on. And we do have something else we're going to show you. We need to get that up on screen here, actually, before this race gets too much further in. So this little fun graphic, ladies and gentlemen, is all the drivers in all 4 divisions, and currently where they sit as far as all the divisions go. So Spider Team from GT4 here, currently sitting in the lead of every single driver through all the divisions as far as accumulated points for a driver goes in the season this season. So it's currently sitting at the top with 122 points over the next driver, who's Nux, who's a D2 driver, ladies and gentlemen, not GTC1, with 113. And then just behind him is Average Viper with 103, tied with ART Wooly. Now, Average Viper's GTC4, and ART Wooly is GTC 3? I think he's 3. And then we see Distinct Twitchy there as well with 103 points. He's a GTC 1 driver. We got RWB J-Rod here with GTC 3. Ace Rio GTC 1. We've got ATK also in the top 10 here, sitting in 8th overall out of all the divisions with 97 points. Up in the YouTube chat here watching the race tonight as well. So good job, my man. Way to go. He is Div 3. I think you're Div 2. Div 3? Div 2. I can't remember. And then, of course, we got RWB Venom here. He's not a GTC4, he is Div 3, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have Ghost 45 in GTC4, rounding out the top 10 of all the drivers in all divisions with 89 points. So, just wanted to sneak that in there really quick, as I almost forgot about it, ladies and gentlemen. So, just goes to show it how well our current GTC4 championship leader has been racing this season in this division, as he's leading all drivers through all divisions in accumulated points here this season after the drop rounds have been factored in. So Spider Team has been very good driver here so far this season, and looking strong here again today. Having another fantastic race here. I don't think he's finished off the podium this season, and when you get nothing but podium finishes, that sets you up pretty good shot for a championship title, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys are wondering on how you win titles in the leagues, finish on the podium every race, and it gives you one heck of a good shot. So we got Ghost 45 here. We have a little over 11 minutes remaining in the race here. Ghost is still dropping down some pretty low 206 laps here on these pretty old tires now. These guys have about 20 laps on these tires now, give or take. Not quite 18 laps, something like that. Spider Team definitely has some tires, some laps on his tires, as we've seen him come right at the beginning of pit window to get that massive undercut that put him here in the opportunity to be where he is right now with P2. So undercut of the series here so far does go to Spider Team, as Drew said in chat earlier. A move of the season. He undercut himself from 8th place to 2nd place here in the pit window. So really great call on Spider Team there as far as strategy goes to get himself back into the battle here. And then in Toolshed as well. Just having a great drive here today, getting back up into P3 as well. Formula One having another fantastic race. He's been very good all season long. Been right up in the fight for the podiums almost every single race this season. Stangman here again too, very consistent all season. He's looking for a juicy result here at P5 today. Follow up that beautiful P3 from last week. We got Viper here in 6th. Viper having a good race last week as well, but not having the best race this week. Sitting in P6. We got Devin Calypso in 7. We've got Walk in P8. We've got Jet sitting P9. We've got Dubs in P10. We have Bunk in P11. And Picteca here in P12, as we see Spider Team just coming up to him here. So let's see if Picteca gives him the space to get around here. As we did have in the driver's briefing before the race here this week, we did have a few incidents last week just with just Dragon Trail Gardens, really, but we just tried to ensure that the lap traffic understood that to give within 3 corners to make sure they give that position up to the lead lap traffic here today, just to try and avoid a few extra incidents on track, and it looks like it's been paying off pretty good here today. So great job by the GTC4 drivers as a group to come up with a solution to just to a situation that arises. You know, in life is problems and roadblocks, and the drivers got together and they came up with a real quick solution to the problem, and everybody seems to be looking pretty darn good here on track today. So fantastic to see that, and you know, it's the best kind of racing league is the racing league where your drivers are a tight-knit group, where they all hang out together, they have fun, they laugh together, they cry together, they practice together, and GTC4 is absolutely one of those groups here in GT Champions this season. These guys do practice together as much as they can. They try to help each other out as much as they can, and they joke, they talk smack, they have a lot of fun. This is a great group to race with, and it's definitely been a pleasure this season, for sure. So our current race leader here, Ghost 45. We're going to drop that banner here in about 3 more minutes, chat. We'll let you guys see the tire and fuel on all the drivers here. We'll let you see the situations, where the drivers are at. And Toolshed is now coming up on Picteca here as well. So Toolshed is trying to close up on Spider Team here. Spider Team is just getting around the Coca-Cola corner here. So Toolshed is starting to close up on 2nd place driver Spider Team here. So again, Toolshed is on a little bit of newer tires by a couple laps there. So we'll see if he can close that gap up on Spider Team in the next 7.5 minutes here. So Formula One doing a great job here in 4th place. A little bit off the podium here at the time being now in the race, but Stagman starting to claw up to Formula One here as well here in 5th. So Stagman maybe trying to look at getting P4 here before the end of this race. And Viper running his paces here in P6, just trying to keep his marks and keep his pace, and then just get the best finish he can out of the race here today. So we do have Devin Clipso in 7th, a little bit of ways behind Viper. Viper's around the first corner here now, so as long as Viper keeps it prim and proper on track here for the remainder of the race, he should have P6 locked down. We have Motorsport here in P8, Jet in P9, and now he's got Dubs all up in his business. So Dubs has put the loud pedal down in that BMW and started to put some pressure on 9th place driver Jet here. So there we go. There's some fun, guys. There we go. He's going to look inside. Is he going to get the job done? Jet does go into the brakes late, so Dub's unable to get the move done going into NGK there, but he'll get back up on the back of Jet here, see if he can get it done coming into corner 1. So let's stick with this for a second. So we got a nice juicy little battle for P8 going on here. Gotta love to see it between P9, sorry, between Jets and Dubs. So you can see Jet's kind of just swerving here and there. He's trying to break the toe. He's going to opt to defend here. He's going to take that inside line. Again, late on the brakes there. Dub's getting a good run on the outside. Is he going to be able to stay beside here? He's actually going to... Ooh, he's not... Jet is defending his butt off here right now. Dubs is a little unsure which way to try and get around Jet here, but he does get inside, and oh! Jet cuts into the corner. Dubs gets the move done. Dubs taking advantage of Jet leaving the door open, and he drove right through it. Jet didn't see it coming at all, so great job by Dubs there to pick on an opportunity there, and he see that opportunity and did not hesitate. He just jumped right through that opening, got that position done. So P has Dubs moving up into P9. Great job by those two drivers there late in the race here, battling for position. So our current race leader is Ghost 45. So let's get rid of that banner, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get rid of that banner. We're getting rid of that banner for the third last time this season, ladies and gentlemen. So our current race leader on the super soft, on the racing soft tires here. Tires looking pretty darn good. He's had some great pace here on track today. Tires looking pretty good. I'd say that's about 30% wear on that front left tire, which is of course the tire's taking the most force here at Nurburgring GP, as he's just coming through NGK and looking like he has plenty of fuel to get the rest of the way there. We have Spider Team here in second place. His tires are looking quite used. He's at about a 50% wear on that front left there, and his fuel is not quite as good as the leader's fuel there up ahead. But, of course, the leader really hasn't had a whole lot of pressure here for the last half of the race, so he's just been kind of putting in his paces. So, Spider Team is trying to hold Toolshed off, who is in third place. Toolshed's tires not looking a whole lot better, however, than Spider Team's. A little bit more rubber on him, but he has got quite a bit more fuel than Spider Team, so he can definitely push. Formula One behind these two, his tires are looking about the same as Toolshed's, maybe a little bit better, and he has got a massive amount of fuel in the car still. We have Stagman here starting to gain on Formula One. Now, Stagman's has less fuel than Formula One, so that's making the car lighter, and Stagman's tires look fantastic compared to the three drivers ahead of him. So that is absolutely going to explain why Stagman is starting to really make some tracks on Formula One here. As you can see him really pushing to close that gap up now. So better tires, a little less fuel, making that car a little bit faster than the car in front of him. We got Viper here in sixth place again on that medium tire. Looking pretty good, but he is starting to look a little iffy on fuel here. We got Calypso here on that soft. His tires are starting to look pretty worn. He's good on fuel. We've got Walk in 8th place. Tires look fantastic. Fuel looks good. Walk should be good to go. We got Dubs getting a little bit wide there. Oh, just keeps it together. Just dipping the tires into the kitty litter there. Great job by Dubs there to keep car on track. Tires a little bit worn, but he should be good on fuel here. He does have dirty tires. To see how he handles that coming into the corner. Looked like the car took it pretty good. We got Jet just behind him, though. And Jet's tires are used up. Oh, hang on to it. Oh, no. And just as we say that, I'm so sorry, my guy, commentator's curse. He is not able to hold the corner with that kind of speed. Look at that front left tire. Getting into the wall, getting some front aero damage there. Jet is just going to be happy to get that race car off those tires. We have Bunk here. His tires looking not too shabby. His fuel is scary. We've got Picteca here on that medium tire look great, and fuel looks pretty good. So with our race leader with 2.5 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost 45 coming across the start finish line here. He's going to put down another 2:06. He has been flying today, ladies and gentlemen. Cruising, this guy. He is 20 laps into this tire stint on these soft tires here, still dropping 2:06s. So he has 100% definitely found some consistency here today. So looking like he should secure P1 down. We still have 3 minutes remaining. Anything can happen yet in this race. Lap traffic can factor in. He can make a mistake. He can spin out. He can hit a wall, get full engine damage. There's so many things that could happen yet, ladies and gentlemen. The Spider team in P2. Tires are starting to definitely starting to show their wear. They're in pain. Spider team coming around. This will be his final lap as he comes around the racetrack here. So there we go. Spider team on his final lap. Toolshed coming across on his final lap. We got Formula One coming across. He's got Hyperi in behind there as well. Picteca coming across. There's Stangman just coming across in behind. We've got Viper coming. All drivers still cruising. I'm looking at my timer here. I think my timer's a little off. LOL, ice. Yes, definitely ice. Why are Canadians so good on tires? I have no idea, Toolshed. I have no idea, brother. I have no idea. We got blue flags, we got lead traffic mixed in with lap traffic right now. We got Picteca right here. We see 4th place Formula One coming up in behind him. We've got Stagman just catching up on Formula One. We've got Dubs in the mix. There's traffic everywhere right now. It's chaos going on back there. We are going to stick with our race leader here. This may be race finish. No, he gets another lap here, ladies and gentlemen. You see him put the 4-ways on there. He thought it was done. So he's got to go around again. So we have Spider Team coming around here. He's coming into NGK. No, he's not coming into NGK. He's coming up to the straight to take you to NGK right now. So these guys are a little bit further behind. So this is the final lap for what looks to be the rest of the racing field. So let us... we have Dubs coming across here right now. I think we're going to catch Dubs' 9th place finish, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations, Dub. 9th place finish. Good drive by Dubs there. We have Jet coming around Coca-Cola right now. He will finish in 10th place. Great job by Jet. We've got, just trying to find the next driver here. Looks like Spider Team is going to be our next driver around here, Coca-Cola. So our P2 finisher, ladies and gentlemen, in round 9 is Spider Team 1. Another great race by Spider Team. And just behind him, Toolshed in 3rd place. So great comeback race for Toolshed. After a rough race at Dragon Trail Gardens, we've got Formula One coming across with another beautiful 4th place finish, ladies and gentlemen. Stangman just in tow with a 5th place finish. We see Picteca coming across there in 12th place, just behind. Average Viper now coming through NGK, coming up to Coca-Cola, and coming in for a 6th place finish himself. Great job by Viper there. Strategy just not his friend today, but still a top 6 finish for Average Viper here. Really good job by Viper today as well, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to him. We've got Calypso coming around here now in 7th place. Great drive by Devin Calypso here in P7. We've got Walk coming around here in P8, ladies and gentlemen. So great job by Walk Motorsport as well. And our race leader, who is on a victory lap, just coming around here. See him tickled pink, flashing his lights, swerving back and forth. Goes 45, ladies and gentlemen. Great job by all our drivers. So with that being said, we do have... Don't go anywhere. We have podium interviews, you guys. We have podium interviews for you guys, so don't run away. We're going to get to that just in a second here. So we're going to bring up... We're going to switch back here. We're going to bring up the race results. So this is our unofficial race results, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ghost 45 finishing here in first place. We have Spider Team finishing in second. Toolshed finishing in third. Formula One finishing in fourth place. Stagman finishing in fifth. Viper in sixth. Calypso finishing in seventh. With Walk Motorsports finishing in eighth place. Dubs with a good drive in ninth place. Jet in 10th place. Picteca in 11th. Bunk in 12th. And Energia finishing in 13th with the disconnect issue. So, again, we're just going to move back here and do some driver interviews, and then we're going to show you guys some standings, some projected standings. So we got to swap some audios around, so give me a second. And
we all got lapped.
So here we go. End of round 9 at Nurburgring GP, ladies and gentlemen. The Group 4 BMW M4 was the car of choice for the race today. And looked like a well-fought race from all our competitors on track today. And congratulations to all the drivers, of course, as always. But let's move to our third place finisher here today, Toolshed. So congratulations, Toolshed, on a fantastic race. And tell us a little bit about it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was an interesting start. I sort of got tapped from behind and then took the championship leader out, so I decided to wait for him. And then went through the whole pack again. Had an amazing battle with Juan and the other Canadian fellow. What's his name? Stagman.
Ghost.
Yeah, but yeah, just a great race, and I was absolutely lucky to get third in the end.
Well, congratulations, and any shoutouts? Any shoutouts?
Just to my team, OGR, to Juan, to you, to Chris, to Tatiana, to everybody, mate. Just absolutely loving it.
Absolutely, great stuff, and congratulations again. And be interesting to see how all the standings shake up here after round 9, ladies and gentlemen. One round remaining. So moving forward up the podium here now, we have our current points leader, Spider Team, coming in second place. Congratulations, mate. Great drive. And talk us through your race a little bit.
Well, after we had that incident at the start, I got off to a good start, was up in fifth, and felt real good and was settling into the race, and my heart was calming down and getting my adrenaline to not flow so much. And then got taken out, and then it was like, oh no.
The winners.
I thought this is a salvage race, and I thought, well, 10th or better.
Nah.
And then when it came
No,
to
I
the
come
pit,
fifth or sixth, isn't it? So I finished the race on the same lap they did.
Keep going, Spider. You there, Spider? Did we lose you?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm
no,
here.
You keep going.
I was just letting him talk.
Yeah.
Oh. And then when I got up to, I think it was, I don't even know, I think 7th, 8th, something like that. I thought as soon as the pit window opens, because I was originally going to pit on lap 23 or 24. And then I thought, no, with this far behind, I'll pit now, and I'm just going to have to save tires and make do. And thank God that strategy worked out.
Well,
Because if
absolutely.
I'd have put it later, I'd probably finish lower down the field.
Well, sometimes it's all about just decision making on the fly that makes or breaks a gentleman's race as well. So, a good job on that strategy call there for sure. And I mean, just another strong drive. You've been driving strong all season long, so not surprised to see you standing on that podium again. So, congratulations. And anybody you want to shout out to?
Thanks. Yeah, just shout out to you and RWB and all you guys. It's been great racing with you all season.
Absolutely.
That's about it.
All right, and congratulations. And I guess we got to do this whole somebody else take over the interview thing again today.
I'll interview you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right, Ghost, tell us why did you think Formula One didn't win?
Wow. I think you finished behind me, but I could be wrong, you know.
No, seriously, folks. Congratulations, Ghost. A pleasure to see you again in the first place. Tell us about your race, man.
Well, we
How
had
did it go?
a good solid game plan coming in, but we all know how that works out in a race once it comes down to it. We caught a track edge going into corner one, and it shot me a little bit across the racetrack, which caused contact with another driver behind me, spun me out. We got back on track and just buckled down and just tried to catch up to the pack. And eventually we fought our way through and got up front, and then we just kind of just stuck to our marks and stuck to what we've been working on in practice all week long, and it worked out for us this week. So.
Yes, you did. Now, considering the past experiences that you have been rammed or wrecked at the beginning, at what point did you think, I'm gonna just buckle up, I'm gonna man up, and I'm gonna win this thing? When did that happen?
Definitely before Dragon Trail Garden race last week. I mean, we did have a rough race last week, but the mentality going into that race was much of the same thing. Just try to be patient, pick each driver apart one at a time, and if you can't get him, then get on him. He was a little bit quicker than you today, so today it just worked out better. We just kept the car out of trouble, and good result today. Good result.
Good result. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely, of course, huge shout out to Rockefeller Racing, my racing team that I am a proud member of. First and foremost, and of course a big shout out to GTC for the series, all you guys on track, great competitors on and off the track. We help each other off track. I love to see that. Growing a nice little community here in GT Champions, and of course just a big shout out to everybody involved. Really, it's a lot of work that goes into this. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't wait.
Great. Well, there you have it. The champion for the day, driver of the day, goes 45.
All right, switching back to the other audio. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we have it. Hey, that's the right one. So there we have it. There's our interviews from our drivers here for the top three. So again, Toolshed in third place, Spider Team finishing in second, and Ghost 45 on top of the podium here today in round 9 at Nurburgring GP in the BMWs. So great job by all the drivers here. So with that being said, let's take a quick look at our projected standings here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to bring this up. So this is where everything's projected to sit unofficially until the results, of course, are verified by the officiating staff after the race has been looked at. But currently, the way things sit right now as the race finishes, we have Spider Team sitting with a total of 138 points, and Average Viper is still the second with 113. Now, if you do the math, ladies and gentlemen, that is a 26-point differential, pardon me, and the best amount of points you can gain in any given race in a GT Champions round is 18 points for a win and 1 extra bonus point for that fastest lap. So with that being said, Viper's 6th place finish here today projected has closed up that fight for the title and potentially given the championship win to Spider Team. Ghost sitting very close behind now with 107 points, so he's only 4 points behind Average Viper now going into round 10. Of course, this is all projected, ladies and gentlemen. And Toolshed is just right there as well with 100. Juan is closing up at 93. We got Calypso projected to be at 81. And Stangman projected to be at 76. So you see that closing up. Marchie Boy losing 3 spots and all that. Walk closing up on Marchie now. We see Picteca still holding his top 10. Dubs gaining some ground there. And Energy Astro. Some of these drivers have missed quite a few races. So that is kind of what it's looking like, ladies and gentlemen. And just before we went to go live today, we got a beautiful little graphic from the administration staff at GTC Champions. So I am absolutely honored to be able to do this first, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say congratulations to Spider Team 1 from RWB Racing, ladies and gentlemen, as he is our definitive GTC 4 season champion here for season 3. So massive round of applause for Spider Team 1, who has secured first place overall in GTC 4 this season. He will receive that championship trophy from GT Champions for his GTC 4 division. Domination, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen it week in and week out, we have seen Spider Team on the podium. Whether it be first place, whether it be second place, whether it be third place, whether he's gotten into trouble, whether he's had an incident on track, whether he's had to pit, Spider Team has shown the best pace, he's shown the best consistency, and he has shown the best racecraft this season in GTC4, and deservingly so, ladies and gentlemen, our GTC4 champion this season. So moving into round 10, he has nothing to worry about. He can have a lot of fun out there on track. He can try and mess with what's going on underneath of him now. The battle is still going on, however, for P2 and P3, ladies and gentlemen. There is still a very tight four-way battle for that position moving into round 10, so do not miss next week. It is going to be an absolute fantastic show. And again, I'm just honored to be able to put this out there first, ladies and gentlemen. So there we have it. Congratulations to our boy Spider Team. I'm tickled pink for him. It has been an absolutely great battle all season long against him. And yeah, I'm going to try and steal the win from him next week too. I ain't letting him go out with a win. I'm trying to take it from him. So congratulations, my guy. Congratulations to all our drivers. We have round 10 coming up next week, and we are heading to Le Mans, ladies and gentlemen. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and we are in the Group 3 Renault RS01 race cars. So absolutely going to be a bang-up finale. Great racetrack, great car. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast, and it's going to be full of excitement going into the very last round of the season. Do not miss it, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host for this evening, Ghost45 or Tim Gray, depending on how you know me. And this has been presented by RWB Racing. Our hosts, our sponsors for the series are Detailing Group, Metropolis, Pride of the Dragon, and High Pre Graphics, ladies and gentlemen. And again, massive shout out and congratulations to Spider Team 1 from RWB Racing for locking in first place overall for GTC4 this season. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. We love having you guys here. We love you guys throwing all those comments in the chat. We love to see you guys coming in cheering for the drivers on track. It's absolutely fantastic. It's why we want to put these shows on for you guys. And just again, a big round of applause for Spider Team from RWB Racing. Huge shout out to the GT Champions administration staff, organizers, officiating staff, and broadcasters. It's been an absolutely amazing season. We have one more really fantastic race to go, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend on Saturday. Don't miss it. Stay tuned. If you're not following GT Champions on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, and you don't want to miss the final round, get on it. Hit those buttons. Turn on those live notifications, ladies and gentlemen. You'll never miss another live moment here at GT Champions. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you all next week.